Do you know anything about the All-Star concept before you came? You watched the NBA? No.
Yes, of course. It's more famous for the NBA than for the soccer, but I think it's a great idea to join the best player of the league, and even if it's for a short time period, but it's still a positive experience, and hopefully tomorrow we're gonna have a good game. I think everybody is ready to compete and to show the good image of the MLS.
You think you could ever experience something like this in Europe? Would they embrace it?
I don't know. I have no idea. There is so many games during the season. I don't know how they can find a place for that, but even I mean, just doing it for each league could be fun. But yeah, it's a different approach of the game. But I still think that there's a place for it.
But then,
And a lot how they play. How do you
and then
Well, a great player like him can only be a good addition for a team like LAFC. Obviously, it's easier for me to talk because I know him really well, but he's going to bring his personality, his experience, his leadership. I still believe that he comes here, to keep winning. That's how he is, and I think he's going to help our young team to continue the development and so yeah. And for me personally, yeah, it's going to be a really good experience at this stage of our career. We didn't expect to share this last experience together, so it's going to be fun. Yeah.
but has he asked you certain things about the league or
Yes, obviously, when he got in touch and in negotiation with the club, we had a few calls. He obviously wanted to know a bit more about the league, about the team, about the club, and but I think he had always in his mind to join the MLS one day or another, and I think that's it was just the right time also for him to come.
what are your thoughts on the rising about based on like the Liga MX so first?
Well, first of all, I have a lot of respect for the Mexican league. I think that they used to be ahead of the MLS for the last few years, but the level now has been reduced, and I think it's a good competition. The introduction of a competition like the League Cup, but also the Champions League, helped to bring the level up, and I think right now the MLS is at the right place, and I think it's it's a good opportunity to play the best player of the Mexican league, and hopefully we're gonna have a good game to play and to watch for all the football fans.
Yeah. More French players are coming to MLS, and top players. You guys are dominating the league in some ways. What do you think is fueling that growth, and what do the French players bring?
Well,
So
the evolution of the MLS the last 3 years has been really, really positive. Obviously, the profile of players from Europe, they just arrive at a certain point in their career. They probably need something else, something fresh to discover a new experience away from Europe. But at the same time, they just want to continue to compete, and that's what we found here. And the level is even better than what I expected, and there is a proper competition. It's not easy because there is different rules than in Europe for clubs, but they still manage to strengthen their team with good coaches, with talented players, and with amazing infrastructure. So I think the football is growing, years after years, and that's why it become more attractive than it was. But I still believe there will be even bigger things in the next 5 years. Or
you have your teammate Bawang out here, but are there any other All-Stars that you've become really good friends with over these last few days?
But we face each other, even if I've been here only for 6 months, but I know them. I mean, most of them I know them, and obviously some of them I face them in Europe, like Christian Benteke, like Bernardeschi, but there is it's just a 2 session together, and you can see happiness, but also you can see the quality. So that's really good to share some moment on the field, and make sure that we are ready tomorrow to have a good team performance. Yes.
What's your impression of the MLS before you came here, and then now that you've experienced it? Has it changed? Has it been different coming from Europe and now being here perhaps?
Yeah, obviously it's easier for me to talk about it after 6 months spent in the MLS. The difficulty when you are in Europe is to find images of the MLS because of the time difference. So you struggle to watch game on live. It's the case for my family when we play 7:30 in LA. It's 4:30, 4:30 in France. So, we could see the development of the league. We could see also the success the last few years. When you look at the MLS team in the Champions League, CONCACAF, they are really performing. And the football has been more attractive as it was in the past. But the problem in Europe, I think we still think that the MLS is like 15 years ago. But I think now we start to realize that there is something going on here, and I think it can only be even better for the next few years.
And you would encourage players from Europe to come here?
Yeah, so obviously the league is really competitive. I understand that the dream is to one day play for the Premier League club or to play Champions League in Europe. But I still believe that football is everywhere, and there is competition all around the world. And even if Europeans are a bit ahead, but that's normal because football has been played there for more than 100 years, so they are in advance. But I think with time and with strategy, the football is going is growing really fast in the MLS, and that's positive for USA.
Thank you.